Alright guys, so today someone called me out to say I only make code automation tutorials. I never make coding tutorials. So today I have something for you guys, those who are in the programming hemisphere. Okay, so today this is what what I'm going to teach you how to make. By the end of this tutorial, you'll be able to make such an application, and it is optimized to work for all devices, whether mobile, tablet, any device. It's optimized to work. Okay, so now today I won't really lean much on the coding side. I'll lean much on the system design and how you design systems like this. Okay, so you can check this cheat sheet. The link is in the description so that you can follow along. Okay, so this is the cheat sheet I created for you guys. You can be using as a guidance when you're designing any kind of system. Okay, so now before we even start making the application, let me just interact with it so that you guys see how robust this is. As you can see, it's very interactive. When I hover over something, it responds. Okay, and then as you can see here on the side, right, this is the profile. So when a person logs in, this is their profile. Okay, so now as you can see here, it's red, meaning the person hasn't put in their profile for it to work. Okay, because this is a personalized financial modeling and analysis and advice, so it can give it, you can use it to do financial modeling, analysis, and advice. Okay, and for you to be able to do that, you need it to know who you are. Okay, in terms of your industry, income, residence, and foreign investments, that if you have invested in foreign countries. Okay, so let me just interact with it so that you guys see how it works. As you can see, everything here is interactive. Okay, so here I'm just going to say I'm a business owner, right? Okay, all right, I'm going to say I'm a business owner. Okay, and then income currency, I'm going to say Zambian kwacha, which is ZMW. All right, and then residence, I'm going to say Zambia. Okay, and then here for the depth, I'll just say none, and then here I'll leave it at 0, and then here I'll just click here, and then it will initialize. Okay, so as you can see, it has initialized, and here there's a greeting saying, hello, welcome to the 5D geopolitical risk and resilience system. I'm the system orchestrator. Before we begin, please tell me how I can assist you with your assets or risk profile today. Like I said, as you can see, everything here is now that we have initialized the system, everything here is green. So the industry is saying business owner, income, Zambian kwacha, ZMW, as you can see there. And then residence is Zambia, debt none. Okay, foreign investments 0. So as you can see, everything is interactive. And then here these are the measures of how vulnerable or instability, let's say, your currency or your business is, depending on what you want to ask. Okay, so let me just pose it a simple question, and then we see how it responds, and then we get to the coding part. All right, so I'm just going to paste in the first run questions we tested the system with, so that you guys see how this system actually works and how it's really a game changer. All right, so here I'm just going to paste in this. Okay, and then you see how, so as you can see, it's thinking. So this has AI. So this application, as you can see, is in Google AI Studio. So it has AI integrated in it, meaning it does API calls to different AI systems so that it can help you. It does a Google search, it is integrated with all AI systems, including Facebook and other social media networks, so that it gives you accurate and precise information. Okay, so as you can see, it's saying you are seeking to advise on whether to invest in the US dollar or another currency, considering the current global and Zambian economic landscape. Did I get that right? So as you can see, this is more like an affirmation, so that you can it gets what you want it to help you with to be more accurate. Okay, so here I'll just say yes. Okay, so I'll just say yes. Okay, so now there are three options here modes rather. Let me just say there are three modes rather. So there's the geo financial risk assessment, there's the scenario modeling and prediction, and then there's a perspective recommendations, and then there's multimodal analysis. Like I said, as you can see, everything here is very interactive. So this is what we are going to create. Okay, you learn how to create such a system, a very robust system, okay, that does complex tasks. Okay, excuse me. So as you can see, okay, so as you can see, I selected the multimodal. So here it's saying, as you can see, there's a greeting again showing you that you have entered into a new part of the system. So it's saying, welcome to the 5G geopolitical risk and resilience system main menu. Okay, so here I'll just say 1. Okay, so here it's saying, please describe a specific trade agreement, sanction, threat, or political election you want analyzed. So as you can see, this is very responsive, a very responsive application, and it's robust and it does a lot. Okay, so I'll be showing you how to use AI to code such an application. But before you start coding, before you get to the coding part, you need to understand how to design a system like this. Okay, system design is very important when it comes to search. Okay, so let's just look at the code here. So as you can see, I'm in Google AI Studio, and you can download the code, or everything is here. Okay, so this is the code for the application. As you can see, everything is here. Okay, as you can see. So now, before I even start explaining the code, we need to understand the system design, how you design such a system. Okay, so as you can see, system name, you need to give a system these are basics. Okay, you need to give the system a name. Okay, so here this is the example of the name. Okay, and then system role. So this is the robot's job is job title. What? Okay, so this is a cheat sheet that you can be using when you're designing a system, so that you make sure before you even start coding, you have all these fundamentals right. Okay, as you can see, here is the description. So the description is here. Okay, and then there's the user profile. So like I said, so this is the usability part. Okay, so this is now the usability part, where you get to design how the system is going to be used, who's the end user, how they are going to interact with it, how the interaction between the end user and the system will be. So this is where you do all that. All right, okay, so as you can see, so here user profile, 5D user profile. As you can see, when we come here, okay, when we come here to the system, you're going to see on the left side there is the user profile here, this here. Okay, so you have to build it from the top down. Okay, that's how you build robust systems. Okay, before you even start coding, you need to understand, we need to lay down the fundamentals of how everything is going to work. Okay, so that would be the roadmap and guidance. Okay, as you can see, so this is the profile, as you can see here in the cheat sheet. I said the 5D user profile, so users report card, the robot stores. So as you can see, even give an explanation of what that thing is going to do. Okay, so here I gave an explanation to say the robot stores all the users personal info here, so it doesn't have to ask again. Okay, here there's the core question, core query, the main task. Once the user confirms their goal, the robot writes it here in bold letters. Okay, so that's where, as you can see at the beginning here, it said welcome to the 5D geopolitical risk and resilience system. Okay, so as you can see, I did all this in Google AI Studio. Okay, and I did it in less time than it actually takes to make such an application. Okay, so let's just go through. Download this cheat sheet in the link is in the description. Okay, so that you go through it. Okay, so the core question, so the scores. Okay, so here this is the score of how vulnerable the person is depending on the user profile, on their profile and where they live. So as you can see, calculated numbers, the robots needs to write down the scores it figures out. So depending on what it figures out, it's going to give a feedback to say the risk profile of your business or country is 80%, 70%. Let me just try to, okay, so let me just do this. So let me just copy this and paste it so that we see if you to be able to give us a score so that you guys see what I'm talking about. Okay, so you need to start building this from the ground up, and with the help of AI, there's no that much need for you to worry about writing the code, because AI will help you with the writing code. So right now programming has shifted from writing code to designing systems, and that's what I'm teaching you guys here, designing a system. Okay, as you can see, it's thinking. Okay, like I said, so as you can see here, it has given a score. So it's saying geo instability is at 70%. As you can see, it has even shown the line here to say it's very, we are in the danger zone. As you can see, it started with orange going towards red. Okay, everything is intuitive. Okay, when you design a system, before you start coding, everything becomes intuitive and simple to understand, and very interactive to the point where you enjoy interacting with the application or the software. Okay, so that's what we're doing here. So as you can see, so this here, as you can see, this answer, the application got this information from an API call, which went on the internet and searched for the information, gathered the information, filtered the information to see which is correct, and based on the filtered information it remained with, then it gave out this. Okay, so let's just look at the code so that you see what I mean. Okay, so here, so this is where the excuse me, this is where the API call happens. Okay, in this one here. So as you can see, so this is the name of the system. Your function is to manage a hierarchical 6-stage turn-based interaction flow. You must operate in a strict turn-based flow. Okay, so as you can see, so current, so this is the node, so this is the head node, rather, I'd say. So user profile, so this is where this is the code, as you can see. So we'll get into the code in the later tutorial. So I just want you guys to look at the code. I'll show you how to turn this. Okay, so now after you understand this, I'll show you how to turn this into code. After I turn it into code, and then compare it all together to make an application like this one right here. Okay, so let's look at so this is, so we've gone along this, we've gone through this. Okay, so there's the scores, so there's the current step, so the mapping. So this tells the robot you are currently on the head node, like I said, head node, because this is a hierarchical system. So the head node, this is where everything is stored. Things like the user profile data is stored in the head node, and then the head node gets to share that user profile data with other nodes in the system. So let's just go through the code so that you see what I mean. Okay, so as you can see, these are the nodes which are in the system. Okay, so these are the instructions. So there are three options. So this is the, if you remember, this is the system orchestrator. So this is one of the nodes. Okay, so as you can see, head node, this is the geo financial context setter. So task here is to greet, clarify user request, and ensure data get. So instructions, so as you can see, so these are the instructions for the head node. Okay, so let's go back here to the cheat sheet. Okay, so like I said, so the head node is the first one. So like I said, hierarchy is very important. The head node is the first one, the system node is the third one, and then the second one rather, and then we come to the rows, and then the result is the last part. So this feeds into this, and then this feeds into this until we get the result. So as you can see here, it is an explanation of what this does. Okay, so this is a ready to use cheat sheet, okay, for you. I don't need to think much. So what you just need to do here, once you get this, the link is in the description, you download it, and then you just be replacing this with what you are currently working on. For instance, you can even use AI to help you. Okay, so for instance, let's say I copy this, right? Okay, so let me just try to copy this. Okay, let me just try to copy this so that you guys see what I'm talking about. As in, so we're going to feed it to Gemini and ask it to say, turn this into a cheat sheet that works for such an automation or website. I think let me just use Word. It's been a while since I ever used Word. All right, so come to Gemini. Okay, so here I'm just going to say, I'm going to give you a cheat sheet for which was used. I'm going to tell Gemini to say, I'm going to give you a cheat sheet which was used for to create a certain automation, and I want you to turn it into a cheat sheet for this automation. Okay, so here I'm going to say, I'm going to give you so I'm going to give you a cheat sheet which was used to create a finance automation. Okay, a finance automation, and you should. Okay, so as you are doing this, you can even help, you can leverage AI so that you work faster. Okay, into a, okay, for so I'm just going to say for cooking automation. Okay, for instance. Okay, and then you just send it like this, and then once Gemini approves, say okay, can give me that and everything else. So here, and then what I'll do is I'll just paste in the cheat sheet. Okay, okay, and then Gemini will do the rest. So as you can see, Gemini has now rewritten the cheat sheet into a cooking automation cheat sheet. Okay, as you can see here. So you can do this for all these. Okay, so you can start from this one. You can start from this one up to the very last one. Okay, up to the very last one. And then once you have this, now you are ready to start now writing the code that will turn this into an application. Okay, as you can see, it's very interactive and robust application like this. Okay, so now you guys play with the cheat sheet, and then in the next video I'll now show you how we can now turn that into code and make such an application which is backed by automation with AI. All right.